Welcome back to Boundless Books. Today, we step into Chapter 22 of The Hunger Games, titled Mutts and Memories. This chapter shifts the games into their final, terrifying phase. The arena itself becomes a weapon as the Capitol unleashes its most disturbing creation yet, forcing Katniss and Peeta to confront not only physical danger, but the haunting memories of those who have already died. The chapter begins in uneasy silence after Rue's death. Katniss is emotionally shattered but determined to survive, for Rue, for Prim, and for everything the Capitol has taken. Night falls over the arena, and with it comes an unnatural stillness that feels deliberate, as though the game makers are holding their breath. That silence breaks violently, a sudden howling echoes through the forest, deep, unnatural, and coordinated. Katniss immediately senses that something is wrong. These are no ordinary animals. Moments later, grotesque creatures burst from the darkness, massive wolf-like mutations with glowing eyes, razor-sharp teeth, and terrifying intelligence. They move with purpose, herding tributes rather than attacking randomly. Katniss runs, she narrowly escapes death by climbing a tree, but the Mutts quickly adapt, circling below and snapping at her heels. Realizing she cannot survive alone, Katniss follows the only logical path, toward Peeta. The Capitol wants a final showdown, and Katniss understands the message clearly. Katniss finds Peeta limping badly, weakened by blood poisoning from his infected leg. Despite everything, he jokes softly, using humor to mask pain and fear. Their reunion is quiet, heavy with shared trauma. Together, they make their way toward the Cornucopia, driven by the Mutts closing in from all sides. As they run, Katniss notices something horrifying: the Mutts' eyes. Each creature bears the unmistakable features of fallen tributes: eye colors, expressions, and even familiar shapes. Katniss realizes the Capitol has used the DNA of the dead children to create these monsters. It's psychological torture designed to break the remaining tributes and remind them that no one ever truly escapes the games. The arena funnels them toward the Cornucopia, now transformed into a nightmarish battleground. Cato appears armored head to toe in Capitol-issued body armor, nearly invincible. He fights savagely, pushing Peeta toward the edge while Mutts swarm below. In a moment of raw desperation, Peeta sacrifices himself, pushing Katniss out of harm's way and allowing the Mutts to seize him. Katniss reacts instantly, shooting Cato's hand and preventing Peeta from being dragged down. Together, they cling to the Cornucopia as the Mutts snarl and leap beneath them. Cato, finally cornered, breaks. He confesses the truth beneath his rage, that he was promised glory, victory, and honor, but now realizes he was always disposable. His fear mirrors Katniss's own, stripping him of his monstrous image and revealing a terrified boy beneath the armor. Katniss ends his suffering with an arrow. The cannon fires. The Mutts retreat. Silence returns, only Katniss and Peeta remain. Key moments in the chapter include the release of the mutations, marking the Capitol's cruel escalation, Katniss's realization about the Mutts' eyes, revealing psychological warfare, Peeta's worsening condition, heightening emotional stakes, Cato's final breakdown, exposing the cost of the Capitol's lies, the end of the games, leaving Katniss and Peeta as the last survivors. Differences between the book and the movie: the Mutts' resemblance to dead tributes is far more explicit and horrifying in the book. Cato's final speech and fear are deeper and more tragic in the novel. The movie shortens the Cornucopia standoff, reducing the prolonged terror of the Mutts. Katniss's internal reflections on memory and identity are largely omitted on screen. Chapter 22, Mutts and Memories, brings the Hunger Games to a brutal close. Victory is no longer triumphant, it is hollow, soaked in trauma and loss. The Capitol wins entertainment, but Katniss and Peeta survive with something far more dangerous: memory, and memory, as this chapter proves, is the enemy of control. Question for you: do you think the mutations were meant to kill the tributes, or to haunt the survivors forever? Like, subscribe, and share, and join us next time on Boundless Books as we explore the shocking aftermath in Chapter 23.